Question number 1. Complete the sentence about the pathway of water in a flowering plant. So suppose if we see the pathway, every plant has a stem. After the stem, there are roots. And then here I'll draw a single leaf. Ultimately, it will be going to all the leaves. So water is absorbed by the roots first. So if you see, roots are made up of cell, and they are having a cell called the root hair. Water is first absorbed by this cell, and then it is transferred from cell to cell until it goes, I'll be changing the color, through a big huge pipe. From here water will go up. This is called the xylem. From here water will travel to the leaf, because leaf requires the water for photosynthesis. Then as we exhale some water from our mouth and nose during respiration, here also some of the water will go out of the leaf in the form of vapors, and this process is called transpiration. Now let's start with the question. Water is absorbed from the soil into the, first is the root hair. So here you will write root hair. Water is transported through, now here you can see it is transported through the xylem. Next it is written water dash lost from the surface. So water vapors are lost. So we'll write it vapor. The process of water loss is called what? So the process of water loss is called transpiration. Question number 2. Look at the periodic table on page 20. So instead of showing the periodic table, I will tell you where to look. The structure, electronic structure of sodium is 281. So here you can see 3 shells. So you can look towards P3, period number 3. Now why period number 3? Because silicon is in the same period, which is asked. Write down the structure of silicon. So silicon will be in period number 3 only. So we'll see period number 3. The first element will be Na, and it will have 11 electrons. Because it is having 11 electrons, the electronic configuration is 281. Next to Na, there will be Mg. So Mg will be 12. It will be 282. Next to Mg will be aluminium. Aluminium is 13. So it will be 283. Next to aluminium, it will be silicon. The question which is asked, it is 14. It will be 284. So electronic structure of silicon, you can see it here. It is 284. Question number B. Write down the chemical symbol for an element in the same group as in nitrogen. Again, you can see nitrogen is 2,5. So it is group number 5. So what you do, you take group number 5 and you can write all the elements in the group number 5. So I'll write it down. It is N, then P, then AS, which is arsenic, SB, BI, and MC. All the names you can see it on the periodic table. So here they have just asked us to write the chemical symbols. So you can write all the symbols if you want. You can write P, you can write AS, or you can write everything or whatever they have asked. Or SB is there, BI is there, and MC is there. So you can write everything which is there in group 5. C question is, write down the chemical symbols for an element in the same period as lithium. So you have to check the period number of lithium. So if you check the period number of lithium, it is in period number 2. So what I'll do, I'll write all the elements in period number 2. So if you see period number 2, first is Li, second is Ba, third is B, fourth is C, carbon, fifth is N, nitrogen, sixth is O, next is F, and next is Ne. So they have told you to write the chemical symbols of everything in this period. So you can write all, you can write Ba, you can write B, C, N, O, F, Ne. You can write all, or you can write whatever they have asked. Next question is, write down the number of electrons in the outer shell of barium. Now first you have to find where barium is there in the periodic table. So you will find it in group number 2. And here this is group 1, group 2. And here you will find it in P6. So P6 from here, and group 2 from here, you will find barium here. Now, what you have to find? The number of electrons in the outer shell. So, if you want to know how many number of electrons are there in the outer shell, you see always the group number. So, you can write that there are 2 electrons in the outermost shell. If they ask you how many orbits are there, then you can see this one. But right now they have asked how many electrons are there in the outer shell. So you always see the group number. Question number 3. This question is about sound waves. Look at the diagram of the waveform of sound wave A. So whatever you see in the diagram is sound wave A. The diagram shows several waves. Now suppose if we see the wave starts from here. Now it is going down and it is coming back. So this again you can see it matches with this part. So this is the end of round number 1. And again this is the start of round number 2. Again it will go down and come to the same place. Again this is end of round number 2. So you can see the wave has done 2 rounds, and you can see the start and the end also. So how many complete waves there is in 10 seconds? So see, you can see the 5 seconds it has done 1 round, and in 10 seconds here it has done 2 rounds. So number of complete waves is 2. Next question, it is not about sound wave A. So there is a new sound wave of B. So they have given the formula. Frequency of a wave is number of waves in 1 second. So frequency is number of waves in 1 second. Frequency is measured in hertz, Hz. For sound wave B, there are 20 waves in 10 seconds. So if there are 20 waves in 10 seconds, in 1 second there will be 2 waves. You can take 20 upon 10. So 20 is the waves and 10 is the seconds. So if you cancel this, there will be 2 upon 1. So 2 waves per 1 second. So what is the frequency? Frequency is number of waves per second. So here you can write 2 waves per second. Now you can see the B part of the question. Look at the diagram of the waveforms of two sounds C and D. So this dark line is the C part and the dotted line is the D part. So check for frequencies and amplitude. So first we'll check the amplitude. So amplitude is what is the height of the wave. So here you can see if the height of the wave is 1, this is the amplitude of wave number D, that is 1, suppose. So in comparison to that, you can see the amplitude of wave number C is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So amplitude of wave number C is 4. So C is 4 times D. So we'll check what questions are given. So first part, it is given amplitude only. The amplitude of wave C is 4 times. See, you have checked here. I have written also. C is 4 times of D. Now what does the amplitude shows? Amplitude shows loudness. Now more the amplitude, more will be the loudness. So C will be more louder as C is having amplitude number 4. The difference in the amplitude means that the sound wave C is louder. Now the second option to check is the frequency of C and D. And you are comparing C with the frequency of D. So if you see the frequency of C, now we'll check from 1 to 20. So you can see the frequency means the number of waves. So you can see there are 2 waves. So frequency of C in 20 seconds, suppose. So it is how many? 2. And frequency of D in 20 seconds. So we'll check how many are there. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is not total number of waves, but we are just comparing. If C is 2, then D is 4. So here you have to compare C with respect to D. So if you compare C with respect to D, it is half. So I'll write here, it is half. And what the frequency shows. If the frequency is less, it will show lower pitch. If the frequency is high, it will show higher pitch. Now we'll check what is asked. The frequency of C is, so you can check C is lower. So I'll write here lower pitch. Question number 4. The diagram shows part of the structure of the earth. The arrow shows the direction of movement of the tectonic plates. So here you can see that the plates are moving away from each other. The mantle contains moving magma. So mantle is having magma. Now what is magma? Magma is liquid rock. Now this liquid rock, it moves in a particular direction. So if the liquid rock is moving in this way, then only it can push this rock in this way. And this movement is called convection. And here also, because the rock is moving that way, the movement of the magma will be in this way. Now here you can see movement of right and left, and that is why the two plates are moving. One is moving right and one is moving left. What is the name of the thermal energy transfer process? So if you see, the name of the thermal energy is convection. Second is the tectonic plates in the diagram are moving apart. Now which diagram is same? So here if you see, this diagram matches with this one. See, it is moving in the outward direction. So you can take this one, and none other matches. Next diagram, it shows the diagram of the kidney. So I'll mark everything first. So from here the blood comes in. This is the renal artery. From here the blood will enter the kidney. Kidney is nothing but a filter. So suppose if they are told to mark, I think so they have told to mark A. So A is what? A is the kidney. So kidney is nothing but the filter. So I'll mark here A is the kidney. After filtration, blood will go out from here. This is called the renal vein. And then the waste particle will travel from here. So this is called the ureter. So they have asked you part B. So here you can write the ureter. From here, this waste in the form of urine will be collected in the bladder. That is called the urinary bladder. This you can write here in C part. And when the bladder gets full, it will be emptied by the D part, that is the urethra. So D part you can write it as the urethra. Look at the table that shows some properties of element in group 1 of the periodic table. So all these elements are from group 1: lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, caesium, francium. Now we have to see, they have given a chart. So if you see the melting point, here it is decreasing. Again it is decreasing. Again it is decreasing. Again it is decreasing. And again it is decreasing. So melting point shows a decreasing trend. Now we'll check the boiling point, the second part. Here again it is decreasing. Again it is decreasing. Again it is decreasing. Again it is decreasing, and again it is decreasing. So boiling point also shows a decreasing trend. Now if you see the density, here it is increasing. Here it is decreasing. So there is a problem here. And again here it is increasing. Here it is increasing. And here it is same. So density you cannot predict. Sometimes it is increasing and sometimes it is decreasing and sometimes it is same. Now if you see the electronic structure, you can see that here there are 2 shells. Here there are 3 shells. that is period number 2, period number 3. Here there are 4 shells, period number 4, and so on. And here you can see in the end everyone has 1 electron in the end. This shows the group number. So here it is showing group number 1. So everyone has 1 electron in the outermost orbit. Now we'll start with the questions. Explain why all the elements in the table are in group 1. So they are in group 1 because everyone has 1 electron in the outermost orbit, as I showed you here. So you have to write all have 1 electron in outer shell. Now the second question is, describe the trend of the boiling point. So boiling point trend, it is clearly seen here, it is decreasing. Next is, which one property does not show clear trend? So you can see here the density is not showing clear trend. Sometimes it is increasing, sometimes it is decreasing, sometimes it is same. So here you have to write density. Question number 7. This question shows about carbon cycle. Look at the diagram of the part of the carbon cycle. So first you can see the B part. So carbon cycle means this is carbon dioxide. Plants take in carbon dioxide by the process of photosynthesis. Now plants are eaten by animals. This is called feeding. And animals do respiration, by which carbon dioxide is again returned to the atmosphere. So this A part is respiration. And plants also respire. So this C part is again because of respiration done by plants. Again CO2 is returned to the atmosphere. Now E part, plants, they die. When they die, they will decompose. When they will decompose, they will form fossil fuels. And fossil fuels, we use it in vehicles, factories, and when we burn it. So this is called combustion. Combustion means burning. So in the factories, vehicles, the fossil fuels are burnt, and again carbon dioxide is returned to the air. So I have written all the processes. Let's see what is asked in the question. So first it is asked combustion. So here you can copy, combustion is the D part. Now next is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, you can see here, it is the B part. And respiration, they have marked 2 parts. So A is also respiration and C is also respiration. So this 2 you can combine and write it here, A and C. Next question, when animals and plants die, they decompose. Name the gas release. So gas release is nothing but CO2. As you can see here in the diagram, they die, they decompose, and they will release a gas called CO2. Lily makes an electrical circuit. So I'll explain the entire circuit. So this is the battery, one is plus and one is minus. The big one is plus. From here, the current will flow. Current always flows from positive to negative. When the current will flow, you can measure the current by using this meter called ammeter. This is used to measure current. From here, this one will flow through a resistance. Resistance might be something like a bulb. And because it is flowing through the resistance, current will slow down. Now to measure the difference in current slowdown, you put one more meter at the beginning of the resistance and at the end of the resistance. This is called the voltmeter. Now this is used to measure voltage. So voltmeter you can see, it is put at the start and the end. So anything you put it like this, before and after. So here you can see this is called parallel. And anything you put it in line, this is called series. So here you can see ammeter is put in series and voltmeter is put in parallel. So I have explained you the entire circuit. Let's see now what they have asked. The circuit has battery cell. So we have marked the battery cell plus and minus. A resistor also, we have marked it here. That is the bulb. 2 meters. So one is P, that is the ammeter, and one is Q, that is the voltmeter. That also we have marked. 1 meter is used to measure current. So I have told you what is used to measure current, that is the ammeter. And the other is used to measure voltage. So this Q1 is used to measure the voltage. So you use a voltmeter. Complete the table. Measurement. So suppose if you want to measure the current, you use a ammeter. And how is the ammeter connected? Series. I have shown you here, see how it is connected. And if you want voltage, then you have to use a voltmeter. And how is a voltmeter connected? You can see it here. I have shown it is connected in parallel. Question number B. Lily investigates the effect of adding more resistors to her circuit. Each time she calculates the total resistance. So when it is one resistor, it is showing 200. When it is two resistors, it is showing 103. That means it is minus 97. When she is putting three resistors, again there is a decrease. So every time it is going on decreasing. Now what is told? Look at the graph of the results. Two results are plotted on the graph. Now this results what you have seen here. Now they have to be plotted on a graph. Complete the graph, labeling the axis, plotting and drawing the best fit curve. So whatever is the table here, I have written it down here. So we don't have to shift it up and down. So down you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. The x-axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4 will be the number of resistors. And here you can see the big numbers up to 220. So this part will be the resistance. So I'll write it here, resistance. Our resistance is measured in ohms. And here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the number of resistors. Now we'll use the graph. When it is 1, it is 200. So when it is 1, we'll pull out the graph here. See, I think so 2 are already plotted. So when it is 4, it is showing 45. I think so 50. So 2 are already plotted. This you can see the 4 one here is already plotted as 50. And the 6 one here is already plotted as 33. So we have to plot the remaining one. Figure number 1 is 200. So I think so it is here. 1 is 200. 2 is 103. So 2 is 103 somewhere here. 3 is 67. 67 means it might be somewhere here. So what will we do? We will join all this. I think so I missed the last one. So we'll try to join all this. And I think so one value is not given, that is the phi number value. That you have to assume by seeing the graph. So if you see the phi number, it is somewhere here. So it is somewhere near 40, which is not given. So here use your graph and predict phi resistors. So phi resistor, you can see it here, and you can predict by this line that it might be somewhere around 40. So we'll write here the resistance is 40. So here you have to use the table, draw the graph, and assume a prediction about phi. Question number 9. URI investigates the mean birth mass of children from mother who don't smoke and who smoke. Now what is mentioned in this graph? Now here below they have shown fetal age at the birth in weeks. Fetal means the child. Now this is at 36 weeks, 37 weeks, 38 weeks. What will happen when the weeks goes on increasing? The child will get more and more bigger. And when the child will get more and more bigger, the mass will increase. So here they are showing you the mass. So you can see at 37 there is a particular mass, and one more graph there is a particular mass. Now what is the difference in these two different graphs? That one mother is not a smoker and one mother is a smoker. So smoker mother has lower mass. The child born with the smoker mother has mass less, and with non-smoker has more mass. In the next week when you see, again it is the same thing. So in every week the mass is increasing, but there is a difference between the smoker and the non-smoker. You can see 40th week again both are increasing, 41st week both are increasing. But you can see that non-smoker mothers, the child weight is more. So what questions are asked? Describe the relation between the fetal age and the mass. So here you can see in both the graphs that as the fetal age increases, the mean mass also increases. So both are increasing in both the lines. But why they are showing all this graph? Because they just want to show that the mothers who don't smoke, their child mass is more. So here they want to know the same thing. Write down in one way the result shown effects of smoking. So you have to tell at the same fetal age. For example, if you take 38, so at this age you can see non-smokers have more mass and smokers children have less mass. So at the same fetal age, babies from non-smoker have more mass and babies from smoker have less mass. Question number 10. ICO investigates how changing the variable affects the rate of reaction. Now, what is meaning of rate of reaction? That is the speed of reaction. Now, the speed of reaction depends upon three things. One is temperature. Second is surface area. And third is concentration. So these are the three things. And fourth is the catalyst. So I'm not writing the catalyst part, I'm writing the three parts. So what is she doing? She is reacting magnesium with hydrochloric acid. Now what she is doing? She is increasing the temperature. So if you increase the temperature, the rate of reaction will increase. So here it is also written that the rate of reaction will increase. Now why it will increase? Explain why it will increase. So when you increase the temperature, you increase the energy. So what will happen? The particles will have more energy. And because they will have more energy, they will collide more faster. And the reaction rate will increase. Now this is the first answer. Second is suggest one other variable that changes the rate of reaction. So I have written both the variables here. You can just copy it down. That is the surface area and the concentration. Next question is question number 11. This question is about energy. Draw one straight line from each term to its correct description. Now all these definitions are correctly written on the textbook. You have to just check the definition and just mark it. So conservation of energy means energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can be just transferred. So you can just mark the line here. Now what is evaporation? Evaporation is when particles escape from the surface of the liquid. You can just mark it directly. Now what is heat? Heat is the measurement of energy in an object. Now what is heat dissipation? Now heat dissipation is when heat energy is transferred from hot to cold. And what is temperature? Temperature is how hot the object is. All these definitions are clearly mentioned in your textbook. You can take a note of it. Question number 12. About 66 million years ago. Now this is the Earth and a giant asteroid. This collided with the Earth and hit the coast of Mexico. Now what happens when an asteroid will hit the Earth? So what will happen? There might be climate change. It will kill plants and animals. Mostly the dinosaurs were killed because of this. Then there will be ash in sky because of impact. Then there will be craters. That too very big because of the impact. So you can write any two. Next question is question number 13. In 1904, J.J. Thomson made a suggestion of structure of atom. Now you can see what J.J. Thomson made. He made like this. But what was the reality? In reality, that is the modern atomic model, we have a nucleus in which there are protons, that is the positive charge, and the neutrons, that is the neutral charge. And these electrons, they are rotating around in an orbit. So this orbit, I'll try to draw it dotted. So these are the electrons rotating in orbits. So this one is the real model. And this one is what J.J. Thomson suggested, because there were no proper channels to find the actual structure. So when the actual structure was formed, this was called the nucleus. And nucleus consists of protons and neutrons. And these electrons were rotating outside. Now at seeing both this, I'll try to mark in orange, this one and this one. Write down one way the plum pudding model is similar. Now you have to write the similarities. Similarities is both have negative. अब कहाँ है? Where it is, you leave it. But both have negative electrons. And what more? Both have positive also. So you can write both have positive protons or positive charge. So that is the similarity. Now what is the difference? Now the difference is, if you see both, this atomic model we use today, that is this one. So atomic model we use today has electrons in shells. Now this is not in this. Whatever I am writing, it is not in Rutherford's model. Second is, same thing we use today has a nucleus. Same thing what we use today has neutrons. Now all these things are not there in Rutherford's model. Question number 14, the diagram shows some organism in the forest. Now rabbit will eat grass and wolf, being non-veg, will eat the rabbit. Now wolf will not eat the grass. So wolf will require only rabbit. Now what is happening? What happens if the wolf population, if rabbits die? Now if rabbit is not there, wolf population will decrease because of hunger. Because they will have no food to eat. Second question is, suggest 2 reasons why climate change may decrease the wolf population. Now climate change means you can put flood. Flood is excess water, or you can put drought. Drought means there is no water. No water means no plants. No plants means no animals also. Or flood, it might drown everything and plants and animals will die. Question number 15. Chen writes statements about nebula. Now what is a nebula? Nebula is a big cloud of gas that is mostly helium and hydrogen, and it also consists of dust particles. Now what happens to this? This will condense and form either a star or a planet or a planetary system. So we'll see what they are asking. All the statements that are correct about nebula. So they are asteroids. So you cannot write they are asteroids. They are a cloud of gas and dust particles. They are a giant cloud. Yes, that they are a giant cloud. This is a big cloud. So this is okay. They can act as stellar nurseries. Stellar nurseries means they can form stars. So this is also okay. They contain dust. Yes, you can see here they will contain dust also. They contain gas. Yes, that is also right. They will contain gas also of helium and hydrogen. Question number 16. Look at this information about chemical formula of nitric acid. Now when we see this chemical formula of nitric acid, you can see that H is 1. So it contains one atom of hydrogen. Here you can see that the second part is N. N is also 1. So here it is written one atom of nitrogen. And when you check O, O is 3. So here it is written 3 atoms of oxygen. So how many atoms are there? You can see the formula of this and you can identify. Looking at the information of some other chemicals. Now they are telling you there are some other chemicals also. The chemical formula of sodium oxide. So sodium is Na and oxide is O. Contains 2 atoms of sodium. So sodium, I'll write it 2 here, and 1 atom of oxygen. So oxygen, I'll write it 1, or if I don't write 1, that is also okay. Write down the chemical formula of sodium oxide. So sodium oxide is Na2O. One more they have told to us, write down the chemical formula of potassium sulfate. So potassium is K and sulfate is SO. So if you don't know also, still they have given here 2 atoms of potassium. So potassium you will write it 2. 1 atom of sulfur. So sulfur you will write it 1. You don't write 1, it is okay. And oxygen, it is how much? 4. So oxygen you will write it 4. So this is the formula of potassium sulfate.